Hi there, hope this finds you well. Just wanted to make a quick video about painting, but it's not actually about painting. It's about painting as a kind of metaphor for struggle, for mental health, for life, in the same way that I use boxing as a metaphor for those things. I've recently started painting, and there's a number of things that it's brought up that I think are very relevant to again to understanding mental health, suffering, struggling, and also moving through those things, and actually how we manage and deal with those things and get through them. So the first thing is the fear of starting. So there might be many things in life that we would like to do that we don't do, and that we never get round to doing. And there's usually a what if reason attached to that. So, what if I'm rubbish at it? That's an often, what if I fail? What if other people think I'm stupid? What if people laugh at it? All these things couldn't stop us from doing something that we'd really like to do, or something that would be beneficial for us. And in painting, there can be a real fear about actually putting the paint onto the canvas, because can't take it back then. Once it's there. And it's like, what if it's crap, So got to get over that. So one of the things about painting, I'm already learned, I'm only a couple of months in, is actually being able to just get the paint on the canvas. Now, following on from that, got to get comfortable with the messy phase. You might have a basic kind of form of, so in my case, it's portraits that I'm looking to do, and where it looks nothing like what you want it to look like, or what the anticipated end product will be. And you've got to be comfortable with that messy phase, with knowing that this is a part of a bigger process, that this is where I'm at now, but this isn't the finished product. So getting comfortable with that and recognizing that it's building towards something greater. And there has to be an element of faith that comes into that, and trusting that we might not know that end, but we know that this is part of the process. This messy phase is part of the process of getting there. And it might be sort of just blocks of colour that don't blend in, they might not match. We might be getting things wrong as we go. So getting comfortable with the messy phase. And following that, one of the best and most satisfying things I'm finding with painting is when something, with what emerges from that mess, and you can be like, this is a load of rubbish, this. What on earth is... And then suddenly, you're chipping away at you're adding your paint here and there, and suddenly you see what you're trying to achieve. You see what you're working at, and it's like, that's it. And you've got a hint of it. Sometimes you start with a hint of it, and then it's like the image emerges from the mess. It's hard to articulate, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. If this, if you paint or draw yourself, there's a real satisfaction in that, where that form, that you can start to see what your end product, what you're working towards. Now, and sometimes it doesn't emerge from the mess. It just stays a mess. Or if not a mess, it's not a mess. You turned it into something, but it's not what you wanted it to be. And there's an element there of kind of, we can refine and continue to work on it, try and get it to that point that we want to. But also sometimes it's accepting sometimes that things just won't work. We'll try despite everything. We'll keep, go back a lot of this bit, a lot of that bit, but it just doesn't turn into what we want it to. And that's fine. And being able to say, that's fine. That's just, some you win, some you lose. Whatever it turns to doesn't matter. This is practice. It's about practicing. It's about practicing and learning. And there's bits of it that are good. So even if the end product isn't what I want, there's things along the way of that I'm learning. And this particular piece is helping me, because this particular element I've done well, and I can build on that for the future. I'm going to another paint, know that I can do that better. And so it may emerge from the mess, it may not, but ultimately it's a process. And And it's part of a process of learning and doing anything new, doing anything different. We've got to be comfortable with the idea of being a learner. And get, as part of that, that we'll make mistakes, that we may fail. I hate that, that we might fail. But, it's something a failure when we've learned from it. That's, to me, the key thing. And we don't get good at anything by not failing. And so we can't have that as a reason not to start and not to try. And so, being comfortable being a learner, and more than that, actually enjoying the process. And part of that is a faith that, with application and practice and persistence and learning from people that are good at this thing that I'm trying to do, that we'll get better. And that where I'm at now is just that. It's where I'm at now. And there's an enjoying the learning process. There's an excitement in that, where might this lead to? And I don't mean in terms of any, grand, let's go out and have a gallery or whatever. But just, for me personally, what might I be able to produce? And that's exciting. And it's an incentive to keep persisting through that learning stage, that what I'm capable of might be far beyond what I think possible, and probably is. And some of the people, I've been sharing, I shared a recent portrait, and people said, a few people have said, you kept that talent hidden or whatever, or didn't know you were good at this or whatever. Like, well, neither did I. I surprised myself. And I'll show you this particular portrait I just finished that I'm really proud of, that, and I got no idea. And the other thing, going back to being comfortable being a learner, actually, I don't have a clue what I'm doing when I feel I'm doing it. And I think, I haven't got a clue what I'm doing here. I'll just splash a bit here and I'll put a bit of paint there and I'll do. And then when it emerges, it's like, oh, well, I must have been doing something right. So being comfortable with that, and, we can talk ourselves out of things. And I might not know what I'm doing, but it's leading me somewhere that actually, again, could be something beyond what I think is possible. And that's the final thing, we don't know what you're capable of. And I think so many of us in various aspects of our life, we limit ourselves. I can't do this. I might not be able to do that. And it becomes a reason to not pursue anything. And this idea as well that we have to be good at something. I've certainly been guilty of that. But actually, doesn't matter. We can do things for pleasure. We can do things because we enjoy them. Don't have to be any good at things. There's that being good at something, what successful is. All of those things, that they're subjective. It's about what it means to you. And if something is, if you enjoy it, if it's a good way of passing the time, if it's something that provides an escape for you from, your day-to-day life concerns, struggles, whatever, then that's a success in itself. That's a good thing in itself. Anyway, I'll leave it there, and I'll show you the end product of the particular painting that I'm talking about. There you go. All right. Look forward to hearing what you think on that, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye bye.